All right, let's talk about this because the internet is absolutely buzzing. Henry Cavill just gave us the first look at his new Highlander reboot, and wow, we are going to break down everything you need to know about this new saga, from the cast all the way to the core lore. So everybody, grab your swords, because a new game is about to begin.
There can be only one. I mean, you know the line. It's so iconic, and it's the entire foundation of this universe, but it's not just some cool catchphrase, right? It's the one and only rule of a secret, centuries-long war for ultimate power, and it's about to be introduced to a whole new generation. So, what do you really need to know? Well, here's the bottom line. We are getting the star power of Henry Cavill, who, let's be honest, we've all been waiting to see with a sword in his hand again, and he's being paired with Chad Stahelski. You know, the visionary director behind the entire John Wick franchise. This isn't just another reboot, folks. This is being set up as a complete and total reinvention. Okay, so how is this version gonna be different? You know, the team behind it isn't just remaking the original movie. They are aiming for a completely modern feel that, honestly, promises to be unlike any Highlander we have ever seen before.
And here is the key to their entire approach. With Chad Stahelski directing, the vision is literally being described as John Wick with swords. Just take a second and imagine that. That's slick, stylish, super hard-hitting, and just perfectly choreographed action. But instead of guns, we get these ancient blades clashing all throughout history. Yes, please.
Okay, for anyone who's new to this whole world, you might be asking, what exactly is all this fighting about? Before we go any further, we have to understand the core conflict that drives every single character in this story, the game.
It all starts with this. In the Highlander universe, certain people are just born immortal. They have no idea why. They can't die from disease. They can't die from injury. There's this mysterious energy that's simply called the Source that makes them heal from pretty much anything, giving them eternal life to just wander through the ages.
But of course, there's a catch. Being immortal automatically puts you in the game. And the game is this ancient, ongoing war where all immortals are basically compelled to hunt and fight each other to the death. There are no teams here, only opponents, in a secret conflict that has been raging in the shadows for thousands of years. So, why do they fight? They do it for the prize. See, the very last immortal left standing gets to absorb the collective power and knowledge of every other immortal who has ever lived. Think about that. It's the ultimate reward, granting unimaginable power to the one person who can outlast them all.
And what's so cool about this whole thing is how simple the rules are. There's really only one way to permanently kill an immortal. You gotta take their head. When that happens, the victor is hit by this massive energy release called the quickening. And that's how they absorb the loser's power, their memories, and all their skills, becoming that much stronger for the next fight.
All right, let's jump back to the original story and see how this all kicked off for our main character, a guy who had no idea he was even part of this secret war until it was way, way too late.
So, our hero is Connor MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod. Back in the 16th century, he's killed in battle, but then miraculously comes back to life. His own people, totally terrified, think he's a demon and cast him out. He's eventually found by an ancient immortal named Ramirez, who teaches him everything about the game. But their time is cut short when the absolutely brutal Kurgan shows up, kills Ramirez, and makes a lifelong enemy out of Connor.
And that brings us to today. This epic story is being retold with a brand new, and I mean absolutely star-studded cast that's ready to take on these iconic roles.
Just look at this passing of the torch. Henry Cavill is our new Connor MacLeod. Facing off against him as the terrifying villain, the Kurgan, is Dave Bautista. And stepping into the legendary shoes of Sean Connery as the wise mentor Ramirez, well, it's none other than Russell Crowe. I mean, what a lineup.
But that is not all. This is a big one. Karen Gillan has been cast as Connor's wife, a character who, in the original, had a pretty small role. The filmmakers have already confirmed they are significantly expanding her part, which almost certainly means we're going to see her get in on some of the action. You just don't cast an actor like Karen Gillan and stick her on the sidelines.
So, with a new cast and a new director, you might be wondering, how is this film going to handle the decades of movies and TV shows and all the spin-offs that came before it? Let's take a look.
Well, the simple answer is, they're starting completely over. This movie is a direct reboot of that very first film from 1986. They are wiping the slate clean, ignoring all the complicated and, let's face it, often contradictory sequels to create a fresh, accessible starting point for a whole new potential saga.
And get this, they're not just borrowing John Wick's action style, they're borrowing its storytelling approach too. So instead of just dumping all the lore on us at once, they plan to reveal the world organically. We're going to learn the rules of this universe right alongside the characters, which is just a really smart way to build mystery and intrigue.
So when can we finally expect to see this epic clash on the big screen? Well, it's still a little ways out, but the film is currently slated for a 2027 release. Go ahead and mark your calendars now.
All of which leaves us with one final huge question. The Highlander franchise has had a long and complicated history, to say the least. But with a star like Henry Cavill, a visionary director, and a completely fresh start, could this finally be the version that stands the test of time and truly becomes the one? I guess we'll just have to wait and see.